everybody, welcome back to the channel and more Birthright here as we move on to the fourth section for the Khinasi, the island states, which covers some really interesting realms here, which we're sure to get to in due time, and also several powerful Anshe, which we've in part seen already in their own respective reviews. So, unlike the plains, Zenki Valley, or the Dokandra, the island states have no unifying geographical feature and few shared cultural traits. Gamura, Surian, the Isle of the Serpent, and the far-flung Sahird el Mahar and Dragon Isles are all true island kingdoms, but this region also includes the realms of the Minotaur, the Magian, and the peninsular Merisaf and Myrada. The heart of the region, the Great Ajari Deeps in the far southeast, consists of great islands and thousands of islets and rocky shoals, extending more than 400 miles from Gamora to the farthest peninsula of Surian. The warm climate and frequent rainfall create near-tropical forests blanketing those peaks. A few land-bound realms are considered island states because they prove more easily accessible by sea than land. Only a few tortuous trails wind through the knife-like fingers of Ayan range from Kurain to the Myrodon Peninsula. The mountains there are all but impassable, as those are surrounding the Minotaur and the Magian. And of course, the Iron Hand tribes cut off all land routes to Merisaf. Now, the Mesetians. Long ago, the island states made up the heart of the Mesetian Empire. Now only ruins remain, of course. Like the good-aligned Voss, the Mesetian race all but died at Deismar. Following the cataclysm, survivors, mostly the aged, infirmed, or very young, found themselves forced to leave their mainland cities in the face of looters and invaders. The scattered people regrouped on the islands of the Ajari Deeps, and then after several centuries had passed, they seemed on the verge of saving their civilization. Their footholds on the islands didn't suit the Serpent, who coveted all the region's resources. So after about 500 years after Deismar, the Anshe bestowed a curse on every remaining Mesetian sorcerer, corrupting their potent magical skills to create rifts to the Shadow World, so as if the Serpent wasn't dangerous enough. Unspeakable horrors entered Cerelia through these rifts and devastated the Mesetians. Some believe that these horrors, which the Basarji called the Hasir Irkuzi, or Bringers of Death, still lingered near island ruins, so a potential danger there for those who would like to otherwise go exploring those ruins. The only Mesetians the Serpent saved were those living on his island, who now serve him as slaves. And then finally, all the other islands here. So 6 days sail south of Surian lies the Sahird el Mahar, the Golden Archipelago. A shorter voyage west brings one to the Dragon Isles, or Western Archipelago. These volcanic islands range in size from one landmass larger than even Surian, in particular Besarif in Sahird el Mahar, to countless tiny islands and reefs. The Mesetians visited both island chains for 1,000 years and even settled them briefly. However, Basarji seafarers came upon the islands about 1,500 years ago, and they set up colonies there. Now, today, each archipelago houses a handful of small city-states centered on the larger islands, and these chains thrived on Basarji trade for centuries, but when Japar closed its ports, trade withered. Today, they supplement their sugarcane trade with piracy along the Cerulean coast, as far west as the Isle of the Harpy. So that should tell you something. That's quite the trek there. But again, let's take a closer look so we can get an idea of what all is mentioned here with these island states. You can see the Isle of the Serpent there further to the south. Here they had Surian, and again, it's fairly far out there. The Ajari Deeps, Myrada, Kurain's the big sort of land one, Maze of Malvar, but then the ever dangerous Magian is up there as well. The Iron Hand tribes, we've covered them partially before as well. And then Mindusai up there as well. So again, getting to the far east coast here. So there you have it, guys. Quick intro to the island states. Thank you so much for watching as always. Be sure to like and subscribe and comment. And if you want to support the channel, check us out on our Patreon. We'll have videos like this early for you, among other content. Thanks so much, and we'll see you in the next one.